Welcome everybody to the U.S. Legends Open Series live right here from Thompson Speedway and the Legends cars. This is the U.S. Legends Open Series and I am Ryan Ezel coming to you live from the booth here at Evolution Racing Network. And man, are we excited as the practice session is coming to a close and qualifying will be kicking off soon. We want to welcome everybody here tonight. We hope you guys enjoy the show. We'll be right back after these words of our sponsors.
I started Folds of Honor above my garage 13 years ago because 90% of spouses and children of killed or disabled U.S. service members receive no federal education assistance. Our mission has never wavered. We honor their sacrifices by educating their legacy.
Thank you for supporting the Folds of Honor.
Thank you for supporting the Folds of Honor. Thanks to you, I will be a construction engineer.
An elementary school teacher. Thank you for helping me fulfill my dream of going to med school.
We're able to award these scholarships because patriots like you refuse to turn your back on the cost of freedom. Join the Folds of Honor Squadron today. Your $13 a month will help ensure we never turn military families away. This is your call to duty.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for supporting the Folds of Honor.
Thanks to people like you, I know my dad is not forgotten.
All right, folks, as you are taking a look right now at open qualifying right here from Thompson Speedway, the U.S. Legend Series, this is going to be a fun, exciting night, folks, because I cannot tell you how much fun it has been watching these little cars through these test sessions that we've been watching. It's going to get exciting because we're going to kind of flip over here to our qualifying chart and kind of see what the laps are. Looks like the only driver at this point to take a lap is going to be Ryan Bean and Andrew Little right there. We're on board with Harold Rothery and now Harold Watkins, but Ryan Bean holds it right now, it looks like, at the best time. So we're going to see if we can't kick that up there. There we go. Ryan Bean with a 22:08. And as always, I want to welcome my cohort in crime right here, David Edwards. David, welcome to Thompson Speedway, brother.
Oh, man, I'm looking forward to it. I'm glad to be here. Glad to watch these guys. Been watching during this test session. Awful bumpy track here tonight, so it's definitely going to test the handling and the mental focus of these guys every lap.
Boy, you ain't lying. We watched, we were a little privy last night to a practice race they put on. As you see right now, we've got several of the drivers, kind of cameras rotating through some of these drivers, kind of showing you how much movement there is in the car as they go on this track. Now, this is another short track, just like it was last week at South Boston. They got 125 laps tonight, open setup, so really it's going to be down to the drivers. But I expect another exciting finish just like we had last week. Now, we've had our results have been, David, who has our winners been? I know Ryan Bean has won twice. Will Brinkley has won once, and then last week's winner was, hate to put you on the spot.
Oh, I failed. Wait for it. It was Andrew Little last week.
That's right. That's right. Andrew Little, as we like to
I
call.
had to go shifting through the notes here. I had to start scrambling on pages.
Good old Dick Little right here in that paint that he's paying a little homage to his family. But, folks, we have been showing you qualifying, and as this thing buttons up, we're going to be right back. We're going to pay homage to our great country, the United States of America, by playing the national anthem. We'll be back for the grid and the start of the race.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets spread glare, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
All right, welcome back, everybody, to the U.S. Legends Open Series right here live on Evolution Racing Network. As we are finishing up qualifying, we'll go take a quick look at what it looks like right now. Qualifying order, it looks like Harold Rothery has got it with a 21.93 as the qualifying session is ending up. This is going to be interesting. What do you think the keys? You know, they do so many of these tracks, David, that are very similar. They're short tracks. They're anywhere from like a 0.4 mile to a half-mile track. They're doing 125 laps, you know, at most of them. So I'm really curious to see how these guys are really putting on a different racing style. What do you think the keys to tonight's race is going to be?
Well, the first key, first important one is it's a little bit bigger track than what they've run all year. It's a little over a half mile. You know, we've been at the quarter miles and the road courses left and right, so it's a little bit bigger track here. It's going to lay its hand to a open setup that, you know, do you focus on the top end speed down the straightaway, or do you focus on the acceleration out of the corner? And at that point, you know, you've got to watch the weight ratio and how much power you're getting to the ground. So that's going to be a big one. Also handling the bumps and track surface. Thompson is an old track. It is has a lot of character, about like the old Atlanta that we used to have. So that'll be a tire wear will be an issue there, and how you handle the bumps in your racing line, and just how you've overall got your car set up to handle those bumps.
Well, you're right. You know, when you say character and an old surface, Thompson has got to be at the top of the list as one of the oldest surfaces on the circuit. They still run Legends, and they still run a lot of these older series that is just, it will literally beat the snot out of you. This track, as we are getting ready to go grid here, Harold Rothery is going to be on the pole, and it's going to be interesting. So before we get too much into the grid, the track info, let's go take a look at the grid and see how these bad boys are starting. Looks like we got 13 drivers taking the grid tonight. On the pole, in the 4-car, Harold Rothery. Outside of him, no surprise, Will Brinkley in the 47. Dick Little on the inside of the second row in the 68. Ryan Bean in the 28, outside second row. Rusty Modesty in the inside third row. Outside of him will be Harold Watkins in the 22. And Nolan Potter will be starting 34 in our favorite styrofoam car in the 7th position. Outside of him would be Kevin Zabladell in the 17. Take us the rest of the way through, David.
It looks like you got the Fitzpatrick row there sitting 5th row back. Bob Fitzpatrick Jr. starting 9th, and Fitzpatrick Sr. starting 10th. Chad Biesinger joining us over. He just finished up a truck race at Dover, jumped in the helicopter and flew up here to jump in one of these things tonight. He's starting 11th. Mark Thibodeau in the 27 starting 12th. And then round out the field, you got Mike Martino in the 75 starting 13th.
That's right. And that's your field for tonight. If you take a look at some of the details of this track, it's 0.53 miles. It was 0.37 miles at South Boston last week, so not a whole lot difference. Really, the big difference is going to be in the straightaways. A little bit longer straightaways, but they still have those tight corners. And you're going to see a lot of movement, a lot of actions here tonight as the temperatures are low, a cool 69 degrees, clear skies, a little bit of wind, 8 miles an hour. I don't think that's going to be a factor in these cars, But man, is it going to get interesting tonight. As you see the sponsor up in the screen, Potter County Diggers. We'll get more into that. Got a nice little commercial. But for now, iRacing.com pace car is off, and we are underway. Green flag here at Thompson Speedway in the U.S. Legend Series.
Rothery got out to a great start there on the beginning. I wonder if he caught Brinkley sleeping there. I mean, he had 2 or 3 cars out before they got to 1.
Yes, he did, but Will Brinkley in that 47, man, he is creeping up and all over the rear Nerf bar of that 4-car Harold Rothery. And don't forget that next row out, the 28 of Ryan Bean and the 68 of Dick Little. These are 2 race-winning drivers. In fact, 3 of the first 4 cars have made up the first 4 wins of this season. This could get real interesting, and I'm curious to see how this plays out in the end. A little further back, you've got Rusty Modesty, Nolan Potter, Bob Fitzpatrick Jr., Harold Watkins, that Big League Chew, white, red, and blue car. This is going to get interesting, but I'm going to tell you what. This is the 5th race in as we watch the 34. Oh, he gets it collected, straightens it back up, and the 27 has nowhere to go. You watched it live here, but let's go take another look here and see exactly what took place, David.
Yeah, Nolan had a great run coming down the front stretch there, going off into 1. And I'm wondering if maybe he just got it just a little too low on entrance. Let's see. He got to the inside of Rusty there, looked to hook the bottom, and looks like when he got in there, the rear end just stepped around and washed up. Thought he had it collected. Thibodeau coming through the smoke had nowhere to go, just right into the rear end.
No, he didn't, and that makes it tough because these cars are a handful to begin with. As we have mentioned for the last 4 weeks, they are super, 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 super twitchy, as we like to call it. These cars got a lot of movement in them. The least little bit of wheel input will throw the car and unbalance it, if you will. But if you take a look on the track, right there is a great view. You see that very first lane that's at the bottom of the track pretty much all the way around. You'll notice it's a lighter color of concrete, especially in the corners. Right there, you can see it right there below where Ryan Bean is running. There's a reason for that. It's because that is where the non-preferred line is. All that rubber is laid down, and that's where they've had to repave that lane because the cars have just over and over and over they have ran on that racing line. And so that has created a wear pattern. Anything below that line can throw the balance of the car off. And if you noticed on that last incident, Nolan Potter's left tires, both of them, were below that line. And I'm wondering if that was just enough to throw the balance of the car off, David.
Yeah, it had to be. Like you said, that's just the non-preferred line down there. It's great if you can get it down there and make it work because nobody really wants to go down there. But you've got to have your car set up for that because it is going to get loose very quick, just like we've seen with Nolan. He got in there. Don't think he did anything outrageous or dramatic, but it just stepped around on him.
It was just enough. And, you know, folks, we have talked about time and time again in this series, these races are just lightning fast. By the time we get started broadcasting them, they're over. So we want to try to capture as much of the action as we possibly can, but yet still pay the bills and make sure that the sponsors that have endorsed this league get their due time. So, you know, we've got Fox Hills Lawn Care. You can look them up on Facebook out of Northeast Pennsylvania. But the true sponsor that really wants to get their action is Potter County Diggers. And at the next caution, we will make sure to show you their highlight reel as we are going back under green. Repeat of the start. Harold Rothery in the 4 and Will Brinkley in the 47. And Harold Rothery gets another great charge. And Ryan Bean takes advantage of Will Brinkley sleeping a little bit at the wheel and takes off. And Rusty Modesty is going to follow him through.
Yeah, Will didn't get a good start there again. And actually, Ryan and Harold both got off to a good thing. Now they're looking at like 2 or 3 cars. But Will will be the first one to tell you he does not have the short run speed.
Yep.
He has his car set up for the long haul. So hopefully, for his benefit, we can get some laps in, put him down, and watch that car work its way back to the front.
Yeah, and I really do think he will. You know, we've watched him time and time again get shuffled to the back. We joked about it the first couple of races that, you know, he starts up front and, quote-unquote, has an incident that pushes him to the back. but yet he always seemed to get back in front. As we are watching live right there, Rusty Modesty gets loose going through the corner center, and oh, poor Mark Thibodeau, nowhere to go again. And we're going to go back and take a look at the contact point between them and see if that 27 really can. He's got both defenders on the front, so we'll see exactly what happened. Let's go take another quick look on Rusty. See him coming through the corner there in that green and white Sinclair 6. It's on the inside of Bob Fitzpatrick Jr. No contact made, just gets loose. Too much. And Mark Thibodeau, everybody checking up behind him, and Mark Thibodeau locks him up as well. So I think the only damage done there is a little hurt to their pride and a little flat spot on the tires. But other than that, I think both those cars will be living to fight another lap.
Yeah, it looks like no harm, no foul there between the two. Maybe a little bit rough on the tires, but no big contact out of anybody, so they should be good to go.
Yeah, well, while we're doing that, let's go take a quick view of one of our premier sponsors of this league, the U.S. Legends Open Series, is Potter County Diggers, and here is what they had to say.
Casey's calling me over. Says
The story's on it. Who's that?
I have done. I got it. I got it. Oh my God, I'm back. Look at this bad boy.
Welcome back, everybody, to Thompson Speedway. I'm telling you, I don't know, as you see the lights are off in the pace car, which means we're going racing next time by, but if you've ever got stuck in the YouTube black hole, that is one of the channels that will keep me encapsulated for hours. So much cool history. You need to check them out. Potter County Diggers on YouTube. And we'll try to play that one more time before this broadcast is over, because I really do think they have some really cool history being unearthed as we watch. And as you see, the iRacing.com pace car dips down to pit road. We have a different front row today, and here we go. We are back in the green, and Harold Rothery actually has the challenger this time, and Ryan Bean in that 28 cars, they are making a drag race. Ryan Bean drives it in deep into corner 1 and 2 and gets the launch and gets that preferred line, and Harold Rothery is under attack by the 3 of Bob Fitzpatrick Jr.
Yeah, Ryan had the momentum up there. He was able to drive it in on the top side there and keep it wound up, and Harold, with nothing Harold could do except just watch him drive on by there coming out of 2.
Well, you know, sometimes it's better to be safe for the long game than it is to try to make up the gain for the short run. You know.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, you know, you can sit up there and fight with those guys all you want, but all you're doing is hurting yourself and taking a chance that you might get turned yourself. These guys are doing an incredible job and really putting on a show tonight. They're really putting on some incredibly clean racing. You know, we've sat here and watched the 47 be on that front row through 2 of the first 3 starts and did a great job, but just does not have that short run speed as you were talking about, David.
Yeah, and looking back through the field, a couple of other ones that got hurt was the 68 of Andrew Little. You know, he was up there up in the top 4,
yeah.
And now he's sitting 6th. And somebody on the move is the 3 of Robert Fitzpatrick Jr. We weren't really talking about him. I think he started 9th or 10th, and he's already worked his way up to 3rd now.
That's right. He is the hard charger right now as we watch, up 6 positions from the starting grid. And that is the largest mover of the race up to this point. But again, we're only 19 coming to 20 laps of 125 laps here
I
at
think they got
Thompson.
together at the back.
Oh, yeah. I'm getting word that we may have several cars caught up in this one. Got the 23 of Chad Biesinger, Mike Martino, and possibly Nolan Potter. Let's go back and look at this and take a look at Nolan Potter's perspective first. You see right there that Styrofoam 34 comes into the corner. Rusty Modesty, it looks like he locked the brakes up, actually, and maybe caused a bit of an accordion effect, and everybody else just had nowhere to go. Let's watch this from Mike Martino.
Poor Mark Thibodeau. That man cannot catch a break tonight.
Let's go watch. This is on board with Mike Martino, and he is like, oh, I think I can get through on the low side. Oh, no! And nowhere to go.
Finger.
And let's go take a look one more time from Chad Biesinger's perspective. See right there in that yellow 23, yeah, it looks like the 6 maybe just had some brake issues, locked him up a little too hard, and it just created an accordion effect behind him.
Yeah, you hate it for those guys. He maybe got in a little hot and locked him down to save it, and then just everybody just stacked up from there.
Yeah, you see some cars, and don't forget about the pit road ticker scrolling across the bottom of your screen. Anytime a car is on pit road, they will be on that ticker on the bottom. It'll let you know how long they've been on pit road, what kind of time they'll be doing. And here, it takes about 40-something seconds to change a full set of tires here, so nobody really wants to take that long, because if you take the time and there's still drivers out on the track, you will get lapped and possibly 2 laps down. So as you see come by the line this time the lights are going out, which means they will be re-racking and stacking and going double file with 1 lap to go, and we're going to have the same front row we did on the last restart, which is the 28 of Ryan Bean and the 4 of Harold Rothery. At this point, I don't think we'll take a quick look. I think Mark Thibodeau may be the only driver, and he is coming out of pit road right now. So that means we still have all drivers on track. Pace car is off. The 28 and the 4, they take a launch, and the 28 gets a great restart.
Yeah, he chose the outside there, knowing, I guarantee you know what he knew last time on the last restart, used that to his advantage there.
Yeah, and Harold Rothery was smart. He actually laid back a little bit and just tucked in right behind him, because he knows that preferred line is that high line going through that track. And you see him running just a couple of feet into that dark groove into the corners. So you want to just barely stick your left side tires in there. If not, keep them above it. We've got a little bit of a battle back here between the 22, the 68, and the 6. Rusty Modesty. These guys right here have been tangoing for the last couple of laps.
Yeah, it seemed like they got single file pretty quick there, though. You don't want to waste too much time being up next to somebody, because it will eat those tires alive, and you will lose precious ground to the guys in front of you.
That's right. And you know, we're 26 laps into 125 laps here at Thompson Speedway. It looks like Thibodeau is back on pit road getting some of those damages repaired. So, you know, that may pay off if we have more cautions. He can get some laps back. He's only being scored 2 laps down at the moment, but he's going to have to get back up to speed and get back on track quickly. But for right now, it's the Ryan Bean Show, and this is not something that's unfamiliar to us, David. We have seen this orange and white Dale Liv's car up front week after week. I think last week on our first road course was the first time that we have seen this car, or excuse me, not the road course, at South Boston, the first time we have not seen this car running up front consistently.
Yeah, I think last week him and Will got together. We didn't see either of the 2 front runners at all much last week. They had their issues very early in their race, and then were non-factors throughout the night.
That's right.
But it's nice to see Harold up there in the 4 and Robert Fitzpatrick Jr. in the 3. Fitzpatrick Jr. had the worst luck the first 3 or 4 weeks going in, so it's nice to see him up here having a good run.
You know, and he had the lead and led several laps last week, did a great job. We come to find out in post-race that he had set up the car with the wrong track setup. We've all been there. We've all hated it. You know, we've heard these guys on an open setup. That means you can set these cars up whatever way you want to. And a majority of these guys are going to be close to each other. But Bob just accidentally put the wrong track setup in his car last week, and it was really good on the short runs, but just fell off drastically on the longer run. So doesn't look like tonight he's got that wrong setup in, because he is up there, been consistently in that top 5. Your hard charger of the night so far. 5 positions up from where he started, and all over the back bumper of the season opener winner of Will Brinkley.
Yeah, they're fighting for that coveted 3rd spot tonight, which if you remember, after last week, Mr. Culver put up a $50 bounty for the 3rd place finisher this week.
Right. Completely
So,
forgot to mention that. David, tell us about that.
Whoever, Jerry was the hard charger last week, had an opportunity to receive $100 iRacing credits, decided to give it back towards the league, took $50 for himself, and put a $50 bounty on 3rd place tonight. So whatever driver, no matter where they started, whatever driver officially crosses the line in 3rd will receive the $50 worth of iRacing credits.
And that's like $50 cash, folks. If you're not familiar with how expensive iRacing is, woo-hoo, it can add up quickly. As you see Bob Fitzpatrick Jr. dive to the bottom of the track, coming in a 1 and 2, they're going down the backstretch, very easily gets around the 47. Now what he has to do is maintain. And the reality is that 3rd place getting the $50 worth of iRacing credits tonight is a really cool, just something that is unique and different. And that was courtesy of Evolution Racing Network, just kind of throwing something out there to be unique and give something for these guys to charge. You see 75 mowing the grass there, wanting to make sure that sod is patted down nice and tight. Looks like he'll be getting back on the track here shortly, but that 3rd place position is a big paying position. So I think you're going to see a bigger battle for that spot than you will maybe for the lead.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it last week. What if, somebody gets out there to a 2 or 3 second lead and it's coming down to the closing laps, and okay, you're not going to catch them. So, 2nd place, do you start backing up to possibly get that 3rd, to get that $50?
Yeah.
Is there a little bump and run, or maybe a bump and dump for 3rd coming to the checkered? So it should make it real interesting tonight.
Yeah, it will. And, there could be somebody in 2nd place and decide to slam on the brakes at the start-finish line. So we'll have to wait and see how this thing plays out. But somebody that's on the move back here in the back is that red and black 17. Kevin Zabladell has done a great job of using that bottom line to get around the cars and letting it stick. We watched earlier, Rusty Modesty was trying to run that bottom line and just kept getting just too much rotation out of his car, and a lot of that is going to come from your setup. You choose the setup in these cars. Do you want a short run car? Do you want a long run car? Do you want a car that corners through the 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 really well, or do you want something that's got a long straightaway speed? Well, the obvious answer is a balance of all of it. That is so hard to do in these cars. As you watch him again get underneath the 34 and make that car stick right there. This is a really good 4-car battle right here between the 22 and 47 and Nolan Potter in the 34 and Kevin Zabladell in the 17. And he is flirting with that danger zone down in that uncharted territory at the bottom of the track.
He has the utmost confidence in his setup right now and his driving ability to be able to drive it down there and be able to get it back in the gas like he needs to. He's flirting with danger there, but he may have the car set up that way to not over rotate and be able to stick down there.
That's right. You see him on the inside of Week 1's winner, Will Brinkley, and so does Nolan Potter right behind him. He's going to follow him through and go underneath, and I'm wondering if Will Brinkley is doing this by design or if he is having troubles with that setup right there.
Yeah, it's not normal to see him. We're so accustomed to seeing him loop it in the first 2 laps and drive back to the front. We haven't really seen him fade off like this here in recent weeks, so I wonder if maybe he's fighting that car.
Yeah, and he very well could be, because he has fallen back all the way to 8th position, has lost 6 spots since the start of this race. But again, it is early. We're only 43 of 125 laps into here at the U.S. Legends at Thompson Speedway, and we continue to watch the 17 of Kevin Zabladell, that red and black car, utilize every lane on this track to get around the traffic in front of him, and right ahead of him.
Yeah, we got a battle going on for second.
That is the battle for second. Ryan Bean is checked out. He's got a 3-second lead on the field, but the 4 in that white flamed car of Harold Rothery, the black 3 Intimidator paint, Bob Fitzpatrick Jr. taking the high line, and that baby blue of Dick Little right there in the 68. It just shows that outside line right there, how much momentum there is coming off the corner.
Yeah, if you can get it up there and get it to stick, it is just, you see it in about all classes, especially your late models. That you got to keep the momentum up. So the high line, if you can roll it and make it work, that's the place to be.
That's right. And you guys saw for a quick second there, the 75 of Mike Martino. They didn't hire him to race this week. They hired him. Thompson doesn't get visited many weeks, so they needed somebody to make sure the grass was cut down. So he has been mowing the yard most of the night, getting that sod nice and pretty for the other spectators watching the race tonight. Look at this. The 17 of Kevin Zavladil coming out of nowhere, utilizing the bottom of that track, and has fought his way all the way up to battle for that second position, David.
That is an impressive run what he's doing right there. He's going where nobody else is. You can run the high line and follow somebody, or you can take it down to the bottom and pass him. And he is showing that he has the setup to run the bottom. Him and Harold getting together.
Oh, that is heavy contact with the 17 and the 4, and you saw it live here, folks. That is a tough break for the 17 as he is waiting for the field to go by so he can get that baby whipped around. Now, it doesn't look like a ton of damage. Well, let's go back and take a look and see exactly what happened here. Saw it right here. Kevin goes in high and he cuts down to get that high corner exit. I don't think he realized that the 4 of Harold Rothery was there, but he does a great job of locking down the brakes, keeping that car from spinning and collecting more vehicles. But that will hurt him because he had fought his way all the way back up to second or third position, and now he's going to have to re-rack him and go to the back of the field.
Yeah, but with what he showed there in those first 50 laps, he's got the car that can do it. If anybody in this field can do it, he can. As long as that car is not damaged too bad, the right rear is not hurt too bad, that he will be digging for these last 75 laps trying to get up there.
Oh, yeah, and you see the 6 of Rusty Modesty and the 34 of Nolan Potter here on pit road getting some services taken care of, both of them taking tires. And, man, it looks like Bean just
left
got
on the island.
hung out because the entire field is coming down pit road behind him. So
I was just going to make the comment that the person that would hate to see this the most was Ryan because he was checked out.
Oh yeah,
I'm not sure if anybody could have caught him had it stayed green, but with this and him being out there all by himself, this throws a massive wrench into his plans.
Well, this helps the 17 of Kevin Zabladell, the 23, the 75. A lot of these cars that have been in incidents earlier tonight, but Ryan Bean right there. Rusty Modesty and Nolan Potter coming down.
Oh,
pit
now he's
road.
getting late. He's gonna go. He decided against it.
I think this is a smart play, though. You still got a lot of time left in this race, David. And here's the reality of it all. If you're the only one not pitting, you're on 75-lap tires or 60-lap tires, you're a sitting duck when that green
You don't stand
flag
a chance.
drops.
Yeah, you're exactly right. You don't stand a chance here. He'll be marred back in traffic a little bit, but looking at what he had tonight and the way he's drove tonight, he should be able to work his way back up through there, possibly him and the 17 together, and get back up front.
Yeah, and that's the thing. If the 17's car, if the damage was not that severe, these guys have the setups tonight, obviously, to go fight back through the field. But they're going to have a hungry field of drivers to fight through because you got drivers like Nolan Potter and Andrew Little and the Dick Little 68, Harold Rothery, Harold Watkins. Bob Fitzpatrick Jr. has done a great job, and look, Will Brinkley back up into the 6th position. So this just shakes up the entire field and is going to make it extremely interesting for the rest of the race.
It makes a great show for us and for the fans out there watching. Woo. So the drivers might not like it too much, but it makes a great product on our end.
That's right. Now, as the pace car dips down, Nolan Potter says, "See ya, boys. I'm out of here." And he gets a huge jump on the field. And that allows him to pick the line he wants to choose. And we watched the 68.
Around goes Andrew.
The 68 just gives it a little too much. Let's go take another quick look. Saw it here as we were watching it live. He's stuck on that inside line, which is the not preferred line. 2 tires in that dark stuff, 2 tires out, and just a little too much throttle, but does a great job of keeping it off the wall, out of the grass, and off contact with another driver. But that will re-rack the field again. And let's go back and take a look at where our race leader had gotten shuffled back to. He's all the way back there, but he's back up. Already fought a few positions. Him and the 17 right in front of him. They're up running 7th and 9th. So this just helps them even more, David.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they can gain the one position, you know, Andrew's spinning there and not even have to work for it, and gives them another chance to get the field stacked back up and possibly get 1 or 2 more in a restart here.
Yeah. So we're going to have to go and take a look at what these guys, I really want to know the difference in the setups. I wish I had a little more info. As we see the 17 of Kevin Zabledale's like, look, I think I need to get a little more damage repaired to have a fighting chance at the end of this. At the rate we're having these cautions is probably not a bad idea here. He's not taking tires.
Take the time, do what you can now. Every caution, fix a little bit more, and at the rate the cautions are coming, he should have it fixed up here shortly.
Yeah, as you see right there, that's your leader. We'll keep an eye on Kevin Zabledale. As long as he gets out of that box and crosses that start-finish line before the leader gets by it, he should be leaving his pit box. And there he goes. So he will remain on the lead lap there, David, which is going to help him drastically. That's the thing. If you've got these cautions, you're already towards the back of the field. This does nothing but give you an advantage. Go in, get a little bit of damage fixed from your crew as you can. As long as you stay back on the lead lap, as you see him go back in real quick, he is trying to utilize the clock and these pace laps to his advantage.
Yeah. I mean, that's the smartest thing you can do here. Take every little bit, even if it's like here, he's not getting to his pit box to the leaders in 3 and 4, but the extra, 5-10 seconds worth of damage might be a tenth on the track. Yep. I mean, you got to do every little bit you can.
And you see him right there. He gets out before that leader crosses that start-finish line painted across the track, which means that will keep him back on the tail end of the lead lap, so he's not losing any laps. He's just staying where he was going to start to begin with. So smart move by Kevin Zabledale right there on the start, as we see the 27 got a little loose there under caution. And decided, I think Mike Martino may have needed some help bagging the clippings from mowing the yard. Maybe it was
I think he's contracted Thibodeau, yeah.
Yeah. So,
he subbed out the other end of the track to Thibodeau.
As we are back underway right here, Nolan Potter gets another great start. And Harold Rothery and Harold Watkins, the tell the two Harolds. Oh! And Rothery gets around and collects a few other drivers. Got Bob Fitzpatrick Sr. and, oh man, Harold Rothery, Bob Fitzpatrick Sr. And let's go take another look at this, because I think there was a few more.
I'm not so sure there wasn't contact there between the two Heralds. It looked like possibly the 22 may have washed a little bit. We caught it too late there, but yeah, I mean, who's that? Rusty going through the grass and Fitzpatrick Sr.
Let's see if we can take another look right here. So these two cars are side by side. Yeah, it's just a little bit of contact. Oh, man. And we're going to go take a look at that from one more.
Looked like Watkins may have just lost it just a touch coming up and corrected it. When he did, it was just enough to get Rothery upset.
Yeah, there's just a little bit of contact there between the 22 and the 4, and that was enough to send the 4 spinning. And, man, that is a tough break for Ford, because Harold Rothery had a great night going. And as you see on the pit stop ticker at the bottom, Chad Biesinger is on pit road getting some damages repaired himself, or was. And let's take a look. Got Ryan Bean going down pit road. Okay. I wonder what this is all about. Wonder if he had a little contact in that last dust up. Got Junior. Kevin
These are your front guys here coming
Yeah.
in. It's kind of strange. Zabado's in.
Got Junior. Man, these guys should have had enough fuel to run. So I'm curious exactly what's taking place there. Well, while these guys are finishing up this caution, we'll be right back. We're going to pay some bills and show you a commercial, and we'll be back after these words.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
All right, welcome back, folks, to Thompson Speedway here at the U.S. Legends Open Series on Evolution Racing Network. As you are watching your leaders, and now I don't even know what to think with the strategy. We got the leaders on pit road coming in. You got people going in to get damages repaired, like Kevin Zabladell. He could be a huge factor now that he's got that car back up, looking sharp. Still got a little right front damage you see there, but these cars are not as aero dependent as most would think. So this is really going to mix everything up, David.
Yeah, it's another shakeup here. The guys, question some of their strategies, but we'll have to see as the pace car ducks off into turn 3. And Nolan Potter gets another great jump there off of turn 4.
Yes, he does, and he is going to immediately take that car up to the top side. And look who we have. The 47 of Will Brinkley. We saw him fall almost all the way to the tail end of the lead pack earlier in this race. And he was just waiting his time, worked on the car, worked on that setup. And look at him now. He's up in second place. Oh, and he makes some contact with the wall. Gets a little too high. And
oh, we got the big one. They're still wrecking going off into one.
This is Talladega lap 100 of 100, turn 4, that almost collected a majority of the field. Oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. Let's go back and take another look at this if we can. And because he was doing such a great job. Let's see if we can find it here. Oh, that was a little too much. Let's watch this here as you're watching. Oh, yeah, this is a little much of the aftermath. Bob Fitzpatrick had nowhere to go. He was ducking and diving, trying to get
Rothery
through.
up on 2 wheels and everything.
Wow. That was just... That's unfortunate because those guys were really doing well. Watch this. Harold Rothery comes through. Will Brinkley just bounces off the wall and collects senior Dick Little, Harold Rothery, Fitzpatrick Jr., Chad Biesinger involved. Man, ton of the field involved in that. But you know who I don't think was? It's Kevin Zabladell. Kevin, I think, was far enough back to dodge it and comes back on pit road again. He's getting some service done, staying on the lead lap. This thing could play out to his favor, David.
It could, and another one I was trying to look through there. I think Bean got through it without anything. He was up and mixed up in the smoke and everything, but I'm pretty sure he got through it unscathed. Somehow,
Yeah.
I don't know how, but somehow it looked like he come through there pretty clean.
Yeah, that was a big one there. You know, you don't normally see, especially with these guys and this caliber of talent, you don't normally see that many cars collected. But Will Brinkley was getting such a run, and I think it just goes to show that if you miss your mark on corner entry and you take it just a couple of feet too high, that the car naturally wants to push up to the wall. And as soon as it does, when you hit that wall in these cars, they're super twitchy. it just wants to react, and you're along for the ride. And he was in the front pack. He was running third when he made contact with the wall, came back down, and immediately started collecting several other cars. It's not like he was doing it intentionally. It's just nature of the beast. You're running up front, you have an incident, you're going to collect a lot of other guys because the pack was re-racked and stacked coming to a restart. And that was an unfortunate deal. But you got guys like Rusty Modesty, Nolan Potter, Ryan Bean, Chad Biesinger, and even Mark Thibodeau there that are rounding out your top 5 on this restart. This could really benefit them.
Yeah, I mean, Mark got caught up in the 2 earlier incidents. I think Biesinger got caught up in the second one tonight. So it's good to see, and Rusty was spinning through the grass at one point in time. So, it shows there just a good rebound and what it can do for him.
Yep, and you see right there, you got both Fitzpatricks, junior and senior, on pit road. Senior getting out of there and taking off. Junior following right behind him. You've got most of these guys are collected up with the field, but it's back up front, and we're going racing. This is Nolan Potter in that beautiful 1987 Styrofoam Cup paint job, taking off with another beautiful restart. These guys are doing a good job behind them. The biggest thing they need is to get single file as quickly as possible to avoid more dust-ups. Ryan Bean taking a very unique approach. He's going really high into the corner entry and diming the exit and getting such a launch. He's making up a lot of ground on Nolan Potter there.
Yeah, he can. That's
Nolan, got a big flip here.
Big Greg.
Kevin Dabladell spins.
He grabs the gear and goes.
Yes, grabs the last 10 caution laps to go in and get the work done. And on that restart has such. We're going to watch this from a couple of different angles.
He just yard sailed it, man. He just.
Watch it right here in that red and black 17. He goes into the corner, dives it down, and the car just wants to break loose. He's trying to collect it. He hits the wall, and to tumbling he goes. Now, we're going to do this one more time, but we're going to do it from quite the different view. Let's see what Kevin saw. So he goes into the corner here. See the car just twitchy, and he tries to collect, hits a wall, and over and over and over. Oh, he needs a barf bag after that one. Grabs the gear and says, "Come on, boys, we ain't over yet." Woo!
It's one of those things. Car just got loose on entry there, and he tried to save it. And like we said before, these things are so twitchy that once you save it, it's going to the right.
Wow, that would be enough to make anybody dizzy.
He might need a change of pants after that one.
Well, you ain't lying, but look up front. You got the 34 of Nolan Potter, the 28 of Ryan Bean, and the 6 of Rusty Modesty, and the 4 of Harold Rothery is back up front, making up your first 2 rows as we're coming to the back half of this track. And don't look now, the 17 is still repeating what he has done for several cautions up to this point, is going in and getting as much damage fixed as he can. Let's go to the Goodyear blimp cam and let's watch him and bounce back and forth between him and see where the leader is as they are coming to the line right now. He's going to have to get out of his pit, and he's going to have to do it quick if he wants to beat the leader across that line, and he does it. Great job staying on the lead lap one more time.
Yeah, you got to be really cognizant of that line coming in and doing this stuff. Me personally, it's bitten me in the butt a few times of just not paying attention and just, as soon as you don't cross that line, go ahead and you might as well go and hang it up for the night in some of these instances because your night's over.
Oh, yeah. And, these guys may get the lucky dog if they're trapped a lap down, but the reality is, you got to have a car fast enough to contend. But at the same token, you've got to be able to – these laps go so fast. As you see when they cross the start-finish line this time by, the lights should go out, and they do, which signifies there's 1 lap to go. So before you know it, when a caution flag comes out, they're going back green in no time. So you have very little time to get your pit stops done, to get any damage repaired. But you've got the Battle of the Titans up front, the 34 of Nolan Potter and the 28 of Ryan Bean. making up your front row, and Nolan Potter will be your leader, taking the outside line. So we'll have to take a look at what this restart is and see if he gets that jump. He has had so many restarts before. He's taking that high line, and he is gone, getting the furthest distance away he could from Ryan Bean. Trying to fake him out. He does an incredible job. Ryan Bean, all of them, doing a good job of getting that high line and getting all the momentum they can. And there's Bob Fitzpatrick Jr. already battling up there with the 6 of Rusty Modesty for 4th position.
Yeah, it looks like, who is that down there? It looks like B-Singer was stuck down on the bottom there and just couldn't get going. It's one of those tracks where the bottom line, it will not go. The quicker you can get to the top, the better off you are. And as you can see, the top line, everybody got single file, just started rolling.
Yep. And that bottom line, you saw it work for Kevin Zavladell before he had his unfortunate incident, but that only worked on the long run. So yeah, as the tires get through these heat cycles and the air pressure gets built up, that's when he was able to take advantage of that low line. But it looks like a majority of the guys tonight do not have the setup available to be able to utilize that low line to pass. You see the 3 of Bob Fitzpatrick Jr. there trying to make it stick down there with heavy damage to the front of that car, but he's now being contended by the 6 of Rusty Modesty there, so he's got to be careful putting his nose down there in the bottom, or Rusty will sneak up on the outside and take that position away.
Yeah, you gotta watch out the front and out the back there. It's one of those instances. If you're gonna attempt to pass, you need to make sure you can complete it. Otherwise, there's gonna be somebody to fill that hole that you were in if you aren't able to clear that guy in front of you and get up in front of him.
That's the double-edged sword we talk about in racing. It's always nice to be able to, explore with different lines, but you better be willing to sacrifice that position if it doesn't work, because there will always be somebody there willing to take it from you. And we've got a battle going on up front with the 28 of Ryan Bean and the 34 of Nolan Potter. These guys are duking it out as we are 40 laps left in this race. And it looks like we're trying to get comfortable and maybe going on a long run here. These two are just duking it out lap after lap. And 47 right there.
Yeah, I was trying to look at the monitors there and see who. Yeah, we got a 2-wide battle there back from 3rd through 5th, looks like.
Now these 4 cars right here are duking it out. Will Brinkley is bound and determined to make that inside work. The 6 has the same exact problem that Kevin Zavladell had the last caution. Just gets a little bit of the rear of that car loose, and he tries to overcorrect, and these cars, it's so hard to do.
I think the 6 had some help.
Yeah, let's go take a look here. Take at this look from a couple of different angles. See right there, the 6 of Rusty Modesty going into the corner. Oh yeah, there was, looks like definite little bit of contact there between the 47 of Will Brinkley and the 6 of Rusty Modesty. Let's go take a look one more time. Watch this from the rear cam here. It's coming in. Oh yeah, definite.
Ooh, just the slightest.
But man, these cars are so unbalanced when they are like that it could really, really ruin your race. And that's exactly what we saw there. Now, while we were under replay, take a look at who went down pit road. The 34 Nolan Potter is coming down for a 2nd visit. I don't know if there is a penalty to a pit road penalty here, but this is his 2nd visit to pit road when he was commanding the lead there. Got several drivers on pit road. Rusty Modesty, Harold Watkins, 34 of Nolan Potter taking tires there. This is going to make it interesting.
I wonder if he knows something we don't hear.
Yep. And look who's back up front. The 28 of Ryan Bean and Bob Fitzpatrick Jr. in the 3, and Harold Rothery in the 4, and Will Brinkley.
This looks like this is like a carbon copy of what we started the race out. It only took us 100 laps to get back to that, but we're there.
That's exactly right. These guys right here is pretty much how we started the race. And there's Dick Little has fought his way back up to 5th position. So, whew, I am curious how this thing is going to play out. You got several drivers taking advantage of these caution laps coming in, getting a few seconds of damage repair done. Kevin Zablett on the 17, Chad Biesinger the 23, Bob Fitzpatrick Sr., Rusty Modesty is still on pit road. I think his night may be done. He's been on pit road for quite some time. Don't think that last incident we'll have to check back in and see, but that may have been his final night.
Yeah, I seen Mark Martino in there. He might be getting the blades changed on the deck there.
Yeah.
He's been cutting the grass pretty good all night, so he might need a blade change.
Yeah, he might have to come in and put the edgers on, because I think there's some grass growing over onto the track there on the backstretch. But Martino, you're doing a hell of a job, man. Doing a hell of a job. All jokes aside, we are getting ready to go back to green flag racing as the 28 of Ryan Bean and the 3 of Bob Fitzpatrick Jr. take off, and Ryan Bean is gone, and Bob Fitzpatrick Jr. was just not ready for that restart. Not only did he lose second, but he's about to lose third to Harold Rothery right behind him. These guys, Nolan Potter on fresh tires, right back up there battling for the top 5 position, already running that low line right there inside of Dick Little in the 68.
Yeah, with those new tires, he might be able to make that work and make it stick. It looked like he's got to click through these guys quick, otherwise Ryan and Will are going to get out front. He's not going to have a chance to catch him. He cannot spend multiple laps sitting here battling with Andrew.
That's right.
And on the inside, otherwise he's going to wear out the new on them tires.
Yep, he's got to hurry up, get around Andrew Little there in the 68, get back up into the high line so he can start ticking off the laps. But looks like he's like, well, I can't make that one work, so I'm just going to check in behind him, see if he can't get a run and go around him on the high side where the preferred speed is. He gets a great run. You can tell that new tire is really paying off, and it's right there in corner center. He just cannot make it stick, and they make contact right there, sending the 68 around, and tough break. It looks like the 68 did not make any contact there with anything more than the grass. Oh, Martino's going to be pissed. Just mowed back there. Back up front, though, it's Ryan.
Just want to
Bean.
apologize to anybody on our broadcast that can listen to Race Chat. If y'all heard that, I'm sorry. That's kind of the influx of some of the all access we're allowed to our drivers. If you were able to hear Race Chat there, 100% sorry for that one. We'll apologize for our drivers.
Oh man, I'm telling you, these guys are putting on a show. But the laps are starting to tick off, folks. It is going to be less than probably 24 laps to go when we go racing here. And we do have Kevin Zablett back on pit road. Bob Fitzpatrick Sr. taking advantage, going to get some of that damage fixed. And I'm getting word it looks like Rusty Modesty is done for the night, and they're packing up their toolbox and going to be putting that car on the hauler. So tough break for the 6 car that was running up front most of the night.
Yeah, I hate to see that for Rusty. He had a good car up there tonight, and just bad circumstances all around. Got a little contact there, getting into 3, I believe, and then that just kind of was the icing on the cake.
Yep. Well, folks, we'll be right back. We're going to pay some bills, show you this great commercial from Potter County Diggers, and we'll be right back after these words.
Casey's calling me over. Says
The story's on. Who's that?
I have done. I got it. Oh my God, I'm back. Look at this bad boy.
All right, welcome back, folks, to Evolution Racing Network. You're watching the U.S. Legends Open Series live from Thompson Speedway as we are currently under caution. We had another little incident there, but I don't think there's a car here racing in the field tonight that hasn't had some contact with either another car, Martino's sod, or the wall, but they are all still out here running, and I'm going to tell you, it's time for us to make our pick. We're going to be going about 20, 23 laps when we go back green. Who is your pick tonight, David?
I don't know, man. Anybody in the top 4 can win it. I mean, they've all shown great speed tonight. See, I cursed the one at Lime Rock. I'm going to pick the 47, the wheel, sitting in second position here.
All right.
See if he can't pull it off tonight.
Well, that's David's pick is 47 of Will Brinkle. He'll be starting on the inside of Ryan Bean. I'm going with my pick. I'm going with the man right here, the 34 in the styrofoam paint job. He's got the freshest tires on the field as we are back underway right now. We got a heck of a battle right here for second place. The 47, the 4, the 3, and the 34. These guys are all going to town, switching and changing. And look at Nolan Potter take it 3 wide. Wow. Now, can he make those new tires stick? He's down in that danger area, but he makes it work. And the 3 just doesn't have enough left, but he's going to get the run right here on this corner. But the 34 is just making that outside line, the inside line, wherever he puts that car, he's making it work, David.
It is, and that puts him in the $50 position as of right now with 24 to go. So, I mean, that was a power tire. That was just an overall great move on his part. He turned it down there off of 2 and just got the run and blew by both them guys.
That's right. And take a look up front. We've got a battle for the lead, and for the first time tonight, the 47 and that all black Intimidator looking paint job. The 47 of Will Brinkley is back up front, but he's not being there uncontested. The 28 of Ryan Bean and the 34 of Nolan Potter. That is a 3-car battle for the lead right there that I have a feeling is not over yet. I think Nolan Potter would much rather have the win than that $50 bounty that's being put out there by Jared Culver. It couldn't be here tonight. But these guys, they're putting on a show as you watch them. Nolan Potter is trying to figure out where is the best opportunity to get it around the 28, and he does the same thing right there. He makes that bottom stick. He's going to give a slide job right up there in front of the 28. 28 sticks the bumper to him. It forces him, and he knows that he has nowhere to go, so the 34 gets around him. Now the question is, coming to the line, it'll be 20 laps to go tonight at Thompson Speedway. Does he have enough time if this thing goes green to get to Will Brinkley and get around Will Brinkley?
I think he's got enough time to get to him, but getting to him and getting around him is 2 different things here. And we talked about it earlier in the race. 47 of Will Brinkley backed off there. He was slipping at the beginning, at the front half of this race. He was running up there second, third, and I think he slipped all the way back to like 7th or 8th there before the rash of caution. So, has he tweaked on that car enough to make it reliable for the long run, or are we going to start seeing the 34 on Nolan Potter and the 28 of Ryan Bean start running him down here as the laps close down?
Well, it's a really good question because I was really wondering what was going on with that 47 car earlier in the night, because no matter what he did, he kept losing positions after every caution. But like you just said, he is trying to check out on the boys right now. He's got about an 0.8 of a second lead over the 34 and about another half a second back to the 28 of Ryan Bean. And then about another 0.8 of a second back to the 3 of Bob Fitzpatrick Jr. as your top 4. But look who's back in 5th right now. Andrew Little in the Dick Little 68 car. He is fought his way back after being the victim of a couple of bad circumstances, doing a great job and securing that 5th position right there. But we go take a look back up front.
Oh, we got a spinner on the front stretch.
Oh, yes, we do. Bob Fitzpatrick Sr., it looks like we have got. Let's go take a look and see exactly what happened here. Oh, wow. And there was some
looked like
heavy
Biesinger
contact.
or Thibodeau caught the wall, looked like.
Well, let's go back and see if we can take a look from a different angle here. You got the 23, the 27, and the 48. Two yellow cars battling out side by side. The 23 gets down low, trying to make that bottom line stick, comes off the corner, and the 27's right there. And let's see where this takes place. It's a little three-car battle here. May have went a little too far back.
I think it might be right here coming off of 4.
Yeah, it looks like, oh yeah, the 27 does what we've seen several cars tonight do. We saw Will Brinkley do that tonight. And speaking of Will Brinkley, I think he may be on pit road. We'll go back live here.
Oh, yeah, sure enough, yep.
Whoa, what is going on here? We got two of the leaders on pit road. David, I'm so confused.
I don't know what to think anymore. This looks like it puts Nolan back in the lead.
Yes, it will. As you see right there.
I mean, I need Larry Mack up here beside me. What are these crew chiefs thinking here? I just don't get it.
I don't either. I get it with 50, 60, 70 laps to go, David, but we're inside 15, 14 laps to go, which click off like crazy because these are 20-second laps they're running here. So this race is going to be over in no time. And I know they went and got new tires. That's going to put Will Brinkley scoring back on the scoring tire here, back in 7th position, and Harold Rothery right there in 6th. Are they going to have enough time to get through the pack? We just watched Nolan Potter take almost 20 laps to go from where he started 8th back up to challenge for the top 3. I don't know if these guys are going to have enough time now.
The only thing I can think of is maybe what we talked about earlier. Will knew he has a short run car and just, the tire difference wasn't going to hold up. I mean, I feel like where he was sitting, he would have finished 2nd. Maybe Nolan would have got him with the tires, but, to sacrifice 1st to go back to 7th, I mean, that's he's betting on himself there, and that's a pretty big bet in my book.
Yeah, that's a huge gamble to take, and if it pays off, I will take back all of my previous statements about what were you thinking. He's not going to be starting that far back. He's going to be starting in the 3rd row outside. So he's going to have the preferred line, which is the outside line, and it's only going to be 3 rows back. So if he can get a great jump and get around the 27, Mark Thibodeau, the 3 of Bob Fitzpatrick Jr., and he's going to have to get around Dick Little there in that baby blue 68 just to get back up to the leaders. Man, this is going to get interesting.
It's going to be a good one here for sure.
That's right. As the pace car dips down, that means we're going racing, and Nolan Potter does a great job. Gets a launch, but we've got to keep our eyes on that all-black row right there between Bob Fitzpatrick Jr. and Will Brinkley in the 47, because that 47's got brand new tires, and he knows that we are coming to the line. It'll be 9 laps to go here at Thompson Speedway. So he has got to make the best, because the longer that the 28 and the 68 are running side by side, all they're doing is holding the 47 up. And Nolan Potter is just getting further and further away. He finally gets around the 28 there, and now he's got to get around the 68 of Dick Little. He's going to dive it to the bottom. But as we come to the line this time by, it's only going to be 8 laps to go. Nolan Potter's got an 8/10 of a lead over that 2-car pack right there. And Andrew Little is not giving it up easy. And Will Brinkley, wow, what a
good
save.
save. Nice save. He drove it off in there. He was doing what he could to and there's a caution now.
We got
like in the rear of the field, yeah.
That is Will Brinkley's best friend right there, is the 27 of Mark Thibodeau. And I'll tell you why. Because he gave that car all he had and made a slight mistake, and it had shuffled him back to 4th. He was going to run out of laps to get back to him. But this right here will probably take us to close to a green-white checker, but at least it's going to restack the field. This is the worst thing that Nolan Potter wanted to see. Let's go back.
Right.
Take a look here. 2 yellow cars that won.
They had a big they were grouped up back here in the back, just battling. And
it starts with the 4, the 22. Make the slightest little contact there And the 27 and the 23 just had nowhere to go, victims of being at the wrong place at the wrong time. Again, this is like so many of the cautions we've seen tonight. Not a ton of damage. All of these cars will continue to fight another day. But one thing that this did right now is it just destroyed the momentum that 34 Nolan Potter had.
Yeah, Nolan's going to have to get another great restart here. I think if he can get out there and get another great restart, probably going to have a 3 or 4 to go when they go back green.
Let me ask you this, though, David. Do you take the high line knowing Will Brinkley's right behind you, or do you utilize those older tires on the 68, keep him on the high line, knowing you're going to be the one in the control to do the restart, and have like a little roadblock between 28 and the 68? Because you got to remember, the 34's got newer tires than the 28 and the 68, but the 47 back there in that all-black car's got the newest tires.
You do exactly what Nolan's doing right here. You put as many cars as you can between you and Will.
Yep.
If you start on the high line and he jumps with you, he's going to clear them, and then it's just you're out there on an island by yourself.
Yep.
Where he's starting now on the inside, if Andrew doesn't get a good start or Ryan gets a good start, it just puts that many more cars in between you and the 47, and he has to work. Essentially he has to pass the cars again like he just had before.
Yep. So Nolan Potter needs this thing. He needs the 68 and the 28 to fight as hard as they did on that last run on this run. They don't want him giving it up easy.
No, and he needs the restart of his life right here to get out. He needs, I don't know. He's been going, he's been switching it up. I've been watching him. He's been going early, been going late, but he needs to just essentially dupe Ryan and Andrew here on this one and just be gone.
Yep.
To click off these last 3 laps.
He needs both of them sleeping at the wheel. That way it will force the 47 of Will Brinkley with nowhere to go.
Exactly.
He needs a roadblock between him and the 47 because the 47's got the freshest tires and got a fast car tonight. He has proved that. But, this is going to get interesting, boys. We're going to come to the line with 2 to go. So it will be a 2-lap shootout. Nolan Potter in the lead. He's got a roadblock, the 68 and the 28. That all-black car starting in 4th. He's got the freshest tires. And, man, does he want it.
And it's good to see Fitzpatrick Jr. and Watkins and Biesinger and Rothery up there in the top 8 getting, all had issues earlier on, but here we go back green.
Oh,
and Nolan
great.
got the restart.
And look at that rolling roadblock right there. They're staying side by side and giving nowhere for the 47 to go. This is exactly what he needs to see. He does not want to see a caution. He wants those guys to keep fighting like they are. And look at them. They are literally, that's going to open the door right there on corner exit. If we cross this line, get the white flag, we do. That means the next flag ends this race in 34. That's all he needs right now is to just put this thing into 2 more corners, not making any mistakes, and he'll take the checkered flag. Davis, take us the rest of the way.
Nolan's coming off a 4 here, and he's going to take the checker. The biggest battle now is for 2nd, and it looks like Brinkley's going to get it with Andrew Little coming across in 3rd, and they're wrecking as they cross.
Yes, they are. Man, what a battle. We talked about it before we went green flag racing, folks. We said this is exactly what has to happen for Nolan Potter to win this race. And it turned out to the T. We couldn't have wrote the script any better, David. Wow, what a finish.
That was a great green and white checker finish there.
And I'll tell you what, this league, this is our 5th race that we have called this season. These guys have yet to disappoint when it comes to finishing. Every one of these finishes have either come down to a photo finish or they've come down to where like tonight, you've got a guy that has a faster car and brand new tires, but he stuck a couple cars behind you. This was exactly what you came to watch tonight, folks, on Evolution Racing Network. Was the U.S. Legends put on a show, and they did not disappoint. As the 34 of Nolan Potter brings home the checkered flag tonight at Thompson Speedway. Well, before we close out tonight, we're going to make sure that we get a word with our podium finishers, which now is being scored. The 34 of Nolan Potter, the 47 of Will Brinkley, and the 68 of Andrew Little. So we'll be right back after these words and have a word with all of them.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
Folds of honor above my garage 13 years ago because 90% of spouses and children of killed or disabled U.S. service members receive no federal education assistance. Our mission has never wavered. We honor their sacrifices by educating their legacy.
Thank you for supporting the Folds of Honor.
Thank you for supporting the Folds of Honor. Thanks to you, I will be a construction engineer.
An elementary school teacher.
Thank you for helping me fulfill my dream of going to med school.
We're able to award these scholarships because patriots like you refuse to turn your back on the cost of freedom. Join the Folds of Honor Squadron today. Your $13 a month will help ensure we never turn military families away. This is your call to duty.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for supporting the Folds of Honor.
Thanks to people like you, I know my dad is not forgotten.
Welcome back to Thompson Speedway, folks, from the U.S. Legends Open Series. And once again, we did not get a finish that was not disappointing. I mean, these guys put on a show tonight, David.
Yeah, they did. I mean, I don't think we haven't had a bad finish yet. It's always come down to a green-white checkered or some kind of strategy playing out. It's always been an exciting finish each and every week with these guys.
Oh, yeah. It has been so much fun to watch time and time again. But without further ado, let's see if we can't get a word with our third place finisher and our special guest for our bounty tonight. Let's see if we can get old Dick Little here on the horn with us. Andrew Little, Ryan and David in the booth. You got a copy?
I do, sir. I do.
Brother, you put on a show tonight.
You know, I tried to go for the spin and win. That didn't work. And then I was trying to hold second, and I lit up the rear tires coming off of 4 there, and I unfortunately lost second to Will just at the end. He had a good run coming, and I was either going to plow the wall or I was going to spin out again, so I had to kind of pedal it a little bit.
Well, man, you had a challenge all night between starting up front, getting shuffled back, lots of cautions. You could see tonight how unstable these cars are with just the least little bit of contact. It's not like a stock car where you can do a little door banging, a little bumper rubbing, and it not disrupt the car so much. But tonight in these cars, it's just night and day difference. You also saw that low line at the bottom of the track, that light gray groove, was almost detrimental to anybody who got in it. Very few cars were able to utilize that as a passing lane. But you did such a phenomenal job of shuffling your way back and then fighting your way back up front. And not only did you secure a podium finish tonight, but you got the bounty tonight. Do you know that?
All right.
So, yeah.
I could use a win because apparently today's my anniversary, and I thought it was Wednesday. So
you're
I'm
in
in a bit
trouble.
of hot water. So
you in trouble. I would hate to be in your house tonight.
Yeah.
Well, hey.
No, the work. It's bad.
Hey, the good news is you got $50 to help go apologize to the missus. The bounty tonight was rolled over from last week. I don't know if you guys were aware or not, but Evolution Racing Network gave away $100 last week to the hard charger, and the hard charger was Jerry Culver, and Jerry Culver was like, man, I want to give some of this back. So we come up with the great idea is he kept 50 and said, I'm going to put a bounty on third place tonight. So whoever finishes third gets the other 50. So you finishing third place tonight, Andrew, secures your $50 from Evolution Racing Network. What do you think about that?
Oh, appreciate it, guys. Thanks a lot. That's really cool of Jerry to pay it forward, and yeah, I'll definitely take the $50, and I'll I'll borrow it for my present, and I'll pay it back. And my company, Waterford Concepts, will sponsor the next road race. How's that sound?
Hey, there you go. I love it. We'll just keep this baby rolling forward. Well,
Yeah.
man, you put on a great show tonight. We've been watching that Baby Blue 68 battle and fight and kick and claw all the way up front. You guys put on such a great show. But before we let you go, man, is there anybody you want to give any shout outs to, any thank yous, any sponsor plugs? Mike is yours.
Just throw it out there to Mr. Bean again for helping with the setup. Definitely a big help tonight. Throw it out to the homage to my my grandfather who ran Dick's Body Shop for forever, and then especially to my wife for. I have plans, honey. I just apparently picked the wrong day for some reason.
You
So
poor thing.
that's about it. Yeah. No, the worst part is I got everything all planned out and everything. 'Cause she handed me a card tonight, and I went, "You're 2 days early." And she goes, "No, you're 2 days late."
Andrew, I am so sorry for the hell that you're about to go through. But I got to say this, brother. There's not a man out there that hasn't lived it, but it is all self-inflicted on your part, my friend.
It is, absolutely is. So, well, we'll see. I got something to make it up for. So
There you go. Well, brother, have a great night. Go enjoy the anniversary, and happy anniversary from us. You guys put on a great show tonight. We're proud to call this one. It was fun. But go enjoy your podium finish, and happy anniversary.
appreciate it, bud. Thanks. You guys have a good night.
All right. You too, buddy.
Hey.
Oh, we lost him right before. Well, I got some bad news, David. I'm going to see if we can get Will Brinkley on the phone, but apparently it is starting to storm and hail really bad up there, and so there's some people scattering to get their trucks uncovered. I'm going to try to see if we can get Will Brinkley on the horn, but our winner tonight, Nolan Potter, is going to be unavailable, and we will interview him pre-race next week. So don't let me forget, David, that we need to interview with him next week pre-race to give him an opportunity. And let's see real quick. Yeah. We're going to be at Myrtle Beach, old Dirty Myrtle. So
they're going to be down in my neck of the woods
that's right.
next week.
Let's see if we can get Will Brinkley on the horn here. I'm not sure if he had to run too or not, but let's find out.
Hey, Will, it's David and Ryan up at the booth. You got us?
Yeah, I got you. Can you hear me?
10-4, I got you, man. You ain't scattering to cover up no trucks or nothing yet, are you?
2-1 now. Oh, no.
Well, I mean, I have to eat my words, and I'm going to make Ryan eat his too. Just to throw it out there, we had no idea what you were doing there, pitting that last caution with, I believe it was 15 to go. But you proved us wrong there and drove it all the way back up to second.
Yeah, I don't know if it was the right call, though. I think I could have hung with Potter. He was on a little fresher tires. I really thought they were all pitting. I genuinely thought everybody was coming, and then when it was just me, I knew I was somewhat in trouble. Thank goodness I started on the outside. That was so critical. You had to be on the outside on the start. But we got close. It was a rough race. I hit way more people than I like to in racing, and definitely sorry to Rusty. I didn't mean to get into him there. We were super close, and I just overdrove it a little bit. But, came home second. I can't complain about that.
Yeah, I mean, you had the outside rolling there, and it even looked like a couple times you had the you could almost dime in the corner off there. Tell us what the track was like out there tonight as a whole.
Yeah, man, it was, I practiced a lot earlier today and even yesterday, and I was never running up there in all my practice laps. And then we get into the race, and I think it was Harold Rothery, or I believe was the first one I seen run up there. And man, he could go O's just easy. And I was struggling to go teens. And so I started running up there, and I mean, it was the higher you could get, the faster it would go almost. It was just the track had more banking up there, and that middle groove had a little less, and then the bottom had even less than that. So you had to be up top. Otherwise, the car would get loose or spin out. So it was a handful if you weren't at the top.
Well, Will, I mean, you put on a heck of a show. Like I said, you faded back there. Actually, one thing I want to touch on: what happened? We were wondering what happened earlier in the race. We seen you running up top three, top four, and then you ended up falling back to sixth or seventh. There was the car going away, or were you saving something?
No, I cooked the right front on that run. I went out there with really high air pressure. I kind of just made the commitment. I didn't, every time in this series, I go out there and the car's super loose and I spin out or something crazy happens early. I just made the commitment that wasn't going to happen. So the car probably wasn't best set up for a long run. When I changed that first set of tires, I lowered the air pressure back down, and it was a lot better on the long run, but it was definitely free on the beginning. So I lost the right front in that first run.
Well, that makes sense now. Yeah, we were wondering. It was uncharacteristic of you to do that. Well, before we let you get out of here, any sponsor plugs, any thank yous you want to give out to anybody out there listening?
Just thanks to all the sponsors of the Legend Series. Thanks to you guys for broadcasting it. Again, my apologies to Rusty. Super sorry, man. I hate that happened. But having a blast is definitely my favorite series of the week. And thanks to everybody for watching.
Well, we appreciate you coming in, and hopefully get to talk to you again next week at Myrtle Beach.
Thank you. Y'all take it easy.
Well, that was your second place finisher, Will Brinkley. And he sounds really genuine when he talks. I know it's the first time he's raced with a lot of these guys, and me and you personally know a lot of these guys that run in here and have raced with them in several other leagues. Will seems like one hell of a guy that you would want as a competitor out on the track, that's somebody that's not over pushing the limits of the car. He sounds really intelligent when he speaks about the vehicle, understanding what he's got, what he's trying to accomplish. So I think he's got a long, far future in this league here. And unfortunately tonight, David, we're not going to be able to speak, and I'll go ahead and throw his name up there. Not going to be able to speak to our winner, our victor tonight, Nolan Potter. And Nolan, if you're watching, when you come back and watch this later, I did pick you to win. So, he did win tonight. So we'll chalk that. I'll keep that on my board over here.
Yeah.
For me. Okay, got that.
That'll just offset your mark for your South Boston comment.
Oh, yes, week. That's right.
Well, so guys, you're a break even now.
Well, I'm still in the hole, I think, for that one. But you guys did a great job. The whole league did a great job putting on a show. Oh, I am just getting word. Good news is I'm getting word that he has got the truck to safety, and we're going to pull him down here real quick. Nolan Potter, Ryan and David in the booth. You got a copy?
I got a copy.
Hey, buddy, did you get everything back to safety?
Yeah, we're doing good. We get one storm a year up here, I feel like. So tonight happened to be the night. Finished the last lap of the race and looked, oh, shoot, we got a tornado warning going on.
Oh, man. Well, congratulations on your victory tonight. We were sitting here watching the end of that race. I want to start at the end and kind of back up a little bit. Me and David were watching, and it was going to be a green-white checker. Will Brinkley had fought his way up, and he's starting in the outside second row. You had been doing all your restarts on the outside. And I sat over and I talked to David. I was like, David, what is he going to have to – he's going to have to build a wall between him and the 47. Between the two freshest set of tires in the field, you're going to have to start down low and hope that the 68 and the 28 build a moving wall between you and the 47 to give you at least 2 laps. And sure enough, that's exactly what happened. And you took the 34, the Styrofoam Cup, our favorite Styrofoam Cup, to victory lane tonight. Tell me what you were thinking there on those last few cautions as you were in the lead, but the 47 kept inching closer and closer to you on those new tires.
Well, earlier in the race, when I was kind of up there battling with Ryan a little bit, I looked down at my fuel and realized I didn't bump it up at the start of the race, so I had to pit there when I was leading early on. But that late in the race there, I was really worried about Will. Will was coming fast, and I was like, well, hopefully they race hard behind me. And sure enough, Andrew and Ryan got next to each other, and it gave me enough time. It bought me enough time. I didn't think I had a real chance coming in tonight. Struggled all day practicing, and about 5 minutes before qualifying, I finally figured it out. So it was a good overall night. Harold Watkins and I practiced all day today, and he kind of helped me with my line today. So I have to thank him for this win. So yeah,
Well, not only did you get the win tonight, Nolan, but you also got the Hard Charger Award, which is you finished the highest amount of positions from where you started. You made 6 positions up from where you started this race 125 laps ago. There was a lot of cautions. There was a lot of moving obstacles that you guys had to battle with cars barely getting loose, but it's a little bit overcorrection. We talked about it all night. We have for several weeks now how twitchy these cars are. And how hard they are if you just barely get the car loose, how hard they are to maintain control. Tell the viewers, explain to them how hard that is as a driver. They hear it from us, but what is it like as a driver to try to keep that car under control for 125 laps?
It was really difficult. Getting into one at Thompson there's that big bump on the high side, and you have to keep the car straight almost until you hit the bump and then turn after the bump. Because if you start turning right before you hit it, that rear end wants to just kick out and it's going to go around on you. And I think that's what a lot of us were struggling with tonight. 3 and 4 was a lot better. You could kind of run where you wanted to, but 1 and 2, it was treacherous. Especially late in the run. It was getting better once your tires kind of came in, but that middle section of the run was definitely scary.
Well, we saw that happen to several people. The Rusty Modesty, Mark Thibodeau, Will Brinkley had it happen to him. We saw several of these drivers hit that bump that you were talking about, and it would show on the screen that your cars all looked like they floated all through the same corner, hitting that bump. And so we're very familiar with what you're talking about on making sure you don't turn until after. But, man, you had a car tonight that you could pretty much put wherever you wanted on that track. So that setup was on point. You and Harold both, your teammate finishing in 8th position tonight. So it was a great points night for you. Get you a victory. You join the rest of the field with Will Brinkley, Ryan Bean, and Andrew Little as our victors this season. What do you think, before we let you go, what do you think about Myrtle Beach next week?
I love Myrtle Beach. Sad to see it go in real life.
Yeah.
It was always a great late model track. A lot of great racers race there. But no, I'm excited to run there. It's one of the first tracks where when I got on iRacing, that for some reason that week the late models were running there, street stocks were running there, so I ran it a lot. So I haven't ran in a Legends car, so hopefully it runs a lot like those, but we all know it probably won't. So we'll see how it goes.
Well, brother, we look forward to it. Before we let you go, as always, we want to turn the mic over to you and let you give any sponsor plugs, any thank yous. Before we let you go celebrate your victory tonight, the mic is yours.
Well, I gotta thank my family. You know, we got iRacing just to kind of be able to stay in touch, closer together with friends. Thank Harold for running all those laps with me today. Thank you guys up in the booth. You guys do a great job. So, and of course, thank Rusty for putting this league on. It's always fun to have a little smaller league. So.
Oh, yeah. And you guys put on some incredible racing. We look forward to calling this each and every week. So, well, Nolan, keep that truck safe. Hope you guys stay safe through the storms. And congratulations on your win again tonight. We'll be talking to you next week.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right, guys. Well, that's your victor right there. Your winner tonight from Thompson Speedway, Nolan Potter. Well, let's take a look at how everybody finished out tonight, David, before we get everybody going. Let's pull the old results up here. Whoop, 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 whoop. Ryan, what are you doing? There we go. Got your winner, Nolan Potter, in the 34. Will Brinkley in the 47 right behind him. And running out third and getting that bounty, Andrew Little, a.k.a. Dick Little, in the 68. Ryan Bean, a hard-fought 4th place in 28. In the 28, Harold Rothery battling back for a 5th place finish in the 4-car. And in the 6th position, Kevin Zablado, after all of those times going back down pit road to get those damages repaired, paid off and got him a 6th place. Good points night for him. And the rest of the field, David, take it away.
Fitzpatrick Jr. battling back for a 7th. You know, we've seen him up there all night, and he faded there towards the end, so it was nice to see him to hang on for a 7th. Harold Watkins, he was one of those ones up front too, just victim of circumstance, finishing 8th. My screen just went black.
All right.
I lost the things. There we go. There it's back. Chad B. Singer finishing 9th. Mark Thibodeau, I think he was caught. He just another victim of circumstance, caught up in everything possible tonight, finishing 10th. Fitzpatrick Sr. finishing 11th. Rusty with the incident there with Will finishing, parking it and taking it home 12th. And then Mike Martino cutting grass all night. brought it home 13th.
That's right. And that is your finishing field here tonight, folks. Well, before we let you go, we want to make sure to say thank you to each and every one of you guys that tuned in. We want to make sure that you guys know, give a shout out there in the chats. Let us know what you thought of the race. If there's anything you'd like to see, don't hesitate to throw it up in the chat. We see that Kevin Sibilia and Sherry Culver and Jerry Culver, the one that threw the bounty out there, always throwing up and making the chat interesting. Well, from all of us here at Evolution Racing Network, we want to say thank you. Have a great week, and we look forward to calling the race next week from Myrtle Beach. I'm Ryan Ezel, David Edwards. Thank you guys very much. We'll talk to you next week.
Later, guys.